Hi, all. This is Professor Horn. I'm checking in, and I also want to provide this navigation video to show you all how to navigate the new Canvas site now that the class is moving fully online in light of the COVID 19 virus spreading all around the world. Apologies for last week. I did use the time last week to set up the online class and transition it over to Canvas for order for you to be able to finish the class online to keep everybody safe with their social distancing, right? So this video is basically going to show you where the new assignments are, how the class is going to unfold each week, and give you a peek into how the class is going to basically be structured for the remainder of the semester, right? So I'm currently in student view, so this is what it should look like minus the big purple ribbon at the bottom, but this is what your view should look like when you log into the course Canvas page, right? You'll see that the announcements will be from last week, and this will look exactly how it has in the previous weeks. Your first module is the module that has the updated syllabus, which has the new assignments explained, the new deadlines, the new course topics, weekly topics, right? So make sure you check out the new syllabus. Your links to your ebooks are directly below that. Your links to your additional course readings, right, are here as they always have been. What is new is I have condensed the lecture notes from our face-to-face meetings, put them in this module as well as included the prompt for the California government paper, which will replace the government activity paper, right? So now you'll have to answer a prompt, and we'll take a look at that now to give you guys a sneak peek. I put it in this module in order so you guys can start forming your outlines and getting going on what exactly you're going to write in response for the paper, right? This thing is going to cooperate, right? There it goes. So you'll have to write a 5-page. The word count and the page length has not changed, and then you'll simply have to answer these questions here, right? This will come more easily to you once we go over California government in the later weeks. But if you want to get a jump on this, you can do the reading that is assigned for you for California government and start to create an outline for this paper that will replace the government activity report, right? When you're in Canvas, you can always hit the back button unless you're in an exam. I would not suggest that because you may lose your answers. But other than that, you usually can hit the back button, and the prompt for the new paper is located here, right? And the instructions on the paper will be in the syllabus, and then you will turn them in the last module of the class before final exam week, right? The module after the first module, the inquisitive assignments, just like normal, just like they used to, they'll be here. Please refer to the syllabus and this inquisitive page here for the deadlines, as some of them might have switched around since we're getting caught up from last week, right? You also, under the inquisitive tab, see the link to the first midterm exam right here for the previous exams, right? And this is really where your Canvas starts to start changing for you, right? This week, you'll see week 9, and this is basically what you will see for the class going forward. There'll be a module for week 10, week 11, week 12, week 13, 14, 15, and then a module for finals week, right? So within the module, there are some assignments, there are some lectures, right? And there are some tips that you'll need to pay attention to in order to succeed in the class, right? And so every module is set up like this, except when you have an exam. Then the exam will be included in the module as well. And we'll take a look at one of those in the instructor view here in a minute once we go through week number 9's module, right? So the first thing you want to do when you get to the week's module is click on the assignment checklist and learning outcomes. And this will show you what you need to cover in terms of the material. We need to read the assigned chapters and the additional readings for the week. We can find these on the syllabus, right? The syllabus is going to be your best friend here. And we also have to review the lectures for the week. And then it also lets you know the assignments that you need to complete each week. Each week you will have 2 assignments. One you're already doing, the inquisitive assignments, and a new one, the discussion forum post, will take place of our face-to-face meetings, right? This is how you will gain participation points in the class now that we aren't meeting face-to-face. You'll be responsible for completing 3 discussion forum posts every week. The first one will be your initial post, which will basically respond to a prompt I rise in each one of the week's modules, and we'll take a look at one of those in a minute. That initial post is due by 11:59 p.m. on Wednesday of each week, right? And you have to make sure you hit that deadline because I will mark you down if you don't make the initial post by 11:59 on Wednesday of each week. In addition to your initial post that is due on Wednesday, you have to reply to at least 2 students, so you have to supply 2 follow-up posts by 11:59 p.m. on Saturday. These follow-up posts, as well as the initial posts, all have word length requirements. Those are gone over more on the syllabus, but essentially you need to post 250 words to your initial post that's due on Wednesday, and you need to post 150 words to each response post, right? So 300 in response, and then 250 in initial, for a total of 550 words each week, right? This is how you'll get your discussion or your participation points in the class, right? Each one of the discussion forum prompts, they deal with some questions raised in the readings and the lectures, so it'll do you best if you complete the readings and watch the lectures before the initial post on Wednesday, right? Your inquisitive assignments are due at 11:59 p.m. on Saturday, just like normal. That does not change, right? So the only things that really change in the class are, instead of coming to class to get the lecture material, you will watch YouTube videos, which I've embedded into Canvas, which we'll look at next, and you'll also complete the discussion forums instead of interacting with your fellow classmates in person, right? Other than that, you continue to do what you're doing, the weekly inquisitive assignments. You continue to complete your exam online, which you already have. So it's not that much of a change. The paper gets changed a little bit in terms of the topic, but it's not that big of a change compared to some other classes that are having to rearrange their whole delivery, right? This class is also lucky because I teach this class, this exact same class, online at CSUB. So some of the lecture material may reference assignments that I haven't talked about. They're not listed in the syllabus. Ignore those references because that is referring to the CSUB class. I'm using some of those lectures and copying them over so I don't have to make new ones, though I am making some new ones as well. So any references to materials that are outside of the inquisitive assignments or the discussion forums, right, don't worry about those. I will send an email announcement for any special type of assignment, extra credit, etc., right? So just worry about the content that's included in these video lectures, okay? At the end of each checklist, you also have your weekly SLOs, your student learning outcomes, that explain what you're going to learn by the end of the week, right? So this is a very, very important place to start. Your assignment checklist and your learning outcome for each week. And each week, the first page in the module will be that, right? So for week 10, you'll see week 10 assignment checklist, learning outcome, etc., etc. After you review the assignment checklist and learning outcomes, right, and once you do this for a couple weeks, you'll kind of get the flow of the class, and maybe you don't have to review this every week, though I would, because sometimes there's some extra credit information, study guide information, right, little tidbits to make sure you're paying attention will be included in that assignment checklist and learning outcomes. After you review that each week, you want to go down to the lectures and notes. Go ahead and click on that. It'll take you to the page where you have video lectures and you have lecture notes, right? So this week, we're going to be going over the executive branch. Instead of having very long lectures, I've chopped them down to no more than about 20 minutes or so. So you should have two, under 20-minute lectures each week. And then you'll see these on embedded in Canvas. You can either watch them right here, or you can click the YouTube symbol to take you to a YouTube link. And you can also have these in your app, right? So it is very, very important to watch these video lectures because it's going to give you the information that you would have in class normally. Under the video lectures, you'll have notes of the PowerPoints that we review in video lectures, and that's essentially how each week is set up. Sometimes you have a couple lectures, sometimes you only have one, but that will vary depending on the topic each week, right? After you review the video lectures and the lecture notes, you're going to want to open up the discussion forum for the week, right? And this is a week 9 discussion forum. Again, the initial post is due at Wednesday by 11:59 p.m. of each week, and the 2 follow-up posts are due by Saturday at 11:59. So you really have just 2 deadlines in this class per week: Wednesday by 11:59, and then Saturday by 11:59 for your follow-up and your inquisitive, right? This week's forum, right? Again, each week we'll deal with the week that we're or the topic that we're covering. It says, while the ability to declare war is officially a power of Congress, they have not declared war formally since World War II, and the president has taken up most of the national security authority in the United States. Is the president too unconstrained in using the military? What might the impact be to national security if the president's powers were more limited by Congress. In order to reply to this post, you'll simply just click reply here, and then this will open up. You can type in what you want, post reply, and then that will be post. Once people actually post to the forums, then you'll be able to reply to those forum posts for your follow-up posts, right? You won't be able to see the replies until you, or other people's posts, until you make your own. So if this is what you see when you log into the discussion forum for that week, you need to make your post first, and then you'll be able to complete the 2 follow-up posts, right? That is essentially how each week will be done. You'll look at your assignment checklist, you'll review the lectures, you'll complete the discussion forums, and you'll complete your inquisitive activities, right? I give you a reminder of which chapters to complete an inquisitive, and you just go up here to complete them just like how you have been in the inquisitive assignments, right? So this is what your Canvas will look like right now, right? This is in student view. You won't have anything past week 9. Every week I will open up the week's module on Sunday to allow you to get an early jump, right? Again, you do not have to view the lectures at the specific times we used to meet in class. You don't have to review them on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8 to 9:25 in the morning. As long as you view lectures by Wednesday in order to make your initial discussion post, and then you complete your reading and your discussion post and your inquisitive assignments each week by Saturday 11:59, that is all you have to do for the class, right? That is all you have to do for the class. If there's any extra assignments or any extra opportunities for extra credit, they will be listed in the assignment checklist and learning outcomes. So make sure you always review that each week, right? But let's take a look at the course from my point of view so you can kind of see how the future weeks will look as well, right? So this is now an instructor view. This is the same as what you will see. The inquisitive module is the same. The previous exam is the same. Week 9 is the same, but then week 10 is where you won't see the material, right? Week 10 is set up just like week 9. You have an assignment checklist, you have your lectures, you have your discussion forum. But week 10, we have something extra. We have a study guide, and then that study guide is listed in the assignment checklist, so you make sure that you don't miss it, right? You also have inquisitive assignments that I remind you about, right? And then week 11 is set up the same way. Assignment checklist, lectures, discussion forum, and then you have midterm exam number 2, right? Don't pay attention to this date. I'm going to change that. Refer to the syllabus for the exam date. When you have the exam, you'll be able to have the exam for a whole week. Essentially, it doesn't mean that you can start the exam on Monday and finish it on Friday. Once you start the exam, you'll have to carve out 75 minutes because you'll have to finish it within 75 minutes. Similarly, it's going to be structured just like the previous one where you will only have one question at a time. You won't be able to backtrack. The only thing that is different is in the period of time you have to take it, right? When we were meeting face to face, we didn't have class on exam days, and you would have the whole 24-hour period. Because we don't meet face to face anymore, you have a week period. So if you want to complete the exam on Thursday, you can. Wednesday, you can. Once you start the exam, you have to finish it within 75 minutes, right? You can't start at the beginning of the week and finish at the end. But if you want to start it on a Tuesday, you can. If you want to wait until Friday, you can finish it, right? Refer to the syllabus on the midterm exam due dates. As long as you have the exam done by then, it will count, right? But you have to complete it once you start it, right? Don't think that you could start it on one day and finish it on another. You only have 75 minutes. You guys know what this exam looks like. You've already done one, so I'm not too worried about that, right? Again, reminders for inquisitives. You have week 12 where we'll see the optional makeup paper, right? But all these weeks unfold the same, right? All these weeks unfold the same. This is essentially how your class is going to unfold for the remaining of the semester, right? I will send you updates and reminders on Wednesdays and Fridays. Wednesdays to post the initial discussion forum post, and then Fridays to make sure you post your follow-up discussion post, as well as finish your inquisitive assignments, and then complete any exams if it's an exam week, right? That's it for the navigation video, right? Please make sure that you view this video entirely. Please make sure that you read the updated syllabus, right? And also please make sure that you reach out if you're having any difficulties at all, right? One of the reasons that I'm structuring the class this way, some professors are using Zoom to lecture during the time in which they normally meet, right? So if I was going to do this, you would have to have a stable internet connection and a laptop, or a cell phone or something for you to be able to interact with us as a class from 8 to 9:25 in the morning, right? And that's not possible for all because some people they don't have the quiet time at home or they don't have a steady internet connection at that time. Just because you're available for class doesn't mean that you're logistically set up to take an online class during that exact time. So in order to accommodate all my students and their different schedules, right, particularly during the schedule, this crazy time where parents will have kids home and the houses may be more noisy than normal, right? I'm simply recording my lectures, putting them on YouTube, embedding them in the Canvas site so you guys can view those at your own accord, right? As long as you follow the course schedule that is outlined in the syllabus, right? It gives you suggested. Those of you that need more guidance, you can review to that and you can follow that every day, and that can structure your week and you can have more guidance that way. Some of you don't need the guidance and you'll get it all done in a day, or you'll just do it throughout the week. But for those that do need the guidance, please refer to the suggested course schedule in the syllabus because that'll tell you what you need to do on Monday, what you need to do on Tuesday, what you need to do on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, etc. Right? And this will help you, right? This is the way the class is going to be for the remaining of the semester. So even if BC decides that after spring break that this virus thing has calmed down and we're going to start having classes back on campus, this class will stay online. So I'm not switching back and forth, back and forth. That's not fair to you students. I know some of you will be upset because you didn't sign up for an online class, but this is the reality situation, right? I didn't sign up to teach an online class, but because of that, I'm going to be lenient. But you also have to follow deadlines. This class moves fast, so if you miss deadlines, right, we're going to have to just chalk those points up as a loss and move forward because you're going to get too far behind if you're worried about completing the assignments from last week. Then you'll miss this week's, right? It's a snowball effect. So you have to stay on your deadlines. You have to turn assignments on time. And if you do that and you're communicative with me, if you're having issues and you follow the student schedule, right, you'll do fine in the class, right? You'll do fine in this class. I teach this class multiple sections each semester at CSUB. Most of my students do just fine if they listen, if they pay attention to the instructions, if they're involved and not just passively taking an online class, right? Those of you that are having trouble, please reach out to me. I'm here to help. We can find different methods of conveying the material to you. We can have one-on-one Zoom meetings. We can have a lot of options because of technology nowadays, right? That is about it. Please make sure you finish the video that you're watching now, which if you're already paying attention now, then you have. So good, congratulations. But make sure you review that syllabus as well and reach out to me if you have any questions. All right, you guys hang in there, stay safe, and I'll be checking in on you occasionally.